Hi there. For my book review, I decided to do Summer Birds, The Butterflies of Maria Marion. This is a nonfiction picture book. It's a great story. It's a biography um, about a woman who was a scientist. She was born in Germany in 1647, and at the time of her birth, people still believed that animals such as butterflies and toads and frogs and salamanders and other insects spontaneously came out of the ground and that they were evil, that they came from the devil. They believed that if that this was a sign of witchcraft, and they feared that if some animals could spontaneously change forms, like butterflies change, caterpillars change to butterflies, then perhaps other animals could turn into monsters like werewolves. So even back then, as a young child, Maria Marion didn't think this was true. She thought that made no sense. And so she began studying by herself. And so as a 13-year-old girl, she began capturing insects and she studied them. And she was one of the first people to really understand how insects go through the process of metamorphosis. And she taught herself to paint. Her parents were both artists as well, and they encouraged her. And she just watched the insects and observed them and learned from them and painted them gorgeous paintings. This isn't her work, of course. This is from the story, but in a minute I'll show you some examples of work that she did do. So this book is a wonderful example of a nonfiction children's book. I really liked it because it was engaging. It was not boring. It was very interesting. It was on a topic that interests children. It was very well researched. There's a historical note in the back of the book, so she definitely did her research. The illustrations are so beautiful, just spectacular, and just a great book. So in addition to this book, I read this book to my children. I should back up and say I read this book this summer to my kids, and the reason I did it is because we had been doing picture study, and we studied Vincent van Gogh last term, and my son was really just fed up with artists. He just decided that they were silly. And so I thought I needed to find an artist that was also a scientist because he's into science. So I thought she might be a really good fit, and she has been. So I read Summer Birds to my kids, and then in addition, I found this book for adults by Kate Hurd, and it's Maria Marion's Butterflies. And so here's a picture of Maria Marion, and it also has a biographical sketch of her, but then it got hundreds and hundreds of her actual paintings, not only of insects, but also of lizards and just lots of little animals, frogs, amphibians. So my son was totally into this artist, and we went on to have some really fun experiences with this. So both my kids got into drawing butterflies and other animals. So here's one painting in one of their nature journals. And we also went to a nearby butterfly pavilion and spent an afternoon there with the butterflies, which was really, really fun. Here's one more picture. So in closing, this was just a great story. It's a great nonfiction biography, and I hope you like it. Thanks.